London, 1888. The largest city humanity had ever built. 5 million people. Capital of an empire ruling 400 million souls, 1/4 of Earth. Controlled from these streets. But this wasn't one city. It was 2 worlds wearing the same name. And the distance between them? 6 miles. 20 years of life. And an ocean of blood money. By 1887, London wasn't just a capital. It was the control room of the planet. Every day, ships from around the world filled the Thames. Cotton from India, sugar from Caribbean plantations, rubber from Brazil, tea from India and China, opium from India, traded through Hong Kong, all flowing into London. London had become the financial capital of the world. British banks financed railroads in Argentina, mines in Australia, and businesses across Africa. Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee, 1887. 50 years on the throne. Princes from every corner of the empire paraded through London. The world watched. The empire celebrated itself. This was the age of progress. This was the age of civilization. This was the age of the future. In the West End, London glittered. Mayfair.
The fog is quite heavy this evening.
Belgravia. Kensington. A single townhouse here cost £10,000. 50 years of a factory worker's wages. Life here meant clean running water piped into marble bathrooms, private doctors on call, gas heating, then electric lighting, the newest marvel. Indoor flush toilets, French chefs, German governesses, Indian servants. Fashion was tyranny dressed as elegance. Women wore corsets so tight they fainted at dinner. Hats decorated with entire stuffed birds. Men wore 3 layers minimum, even in summer. Life expectancy, 60+ years. Children here learned Latin,
the foundation of the first conjugation.
Piano, horseback riding. Their biggest danger? Boredom. And every morning, the newspapers arrived with breakfast, full of stories about the empire's glory, never about how it was built. London was racing into the future. 1888 was a year of miracles. The London Underground, 25 years old. Steam trains in dark tunnels, choking passengers, but moving 300,000 people a day. Tower Bridge, rising over the Thames. The largest bascule bridge ever built. A monument to engineering. Electric street lighting, replacing gas lamps. Neighbourhoods glowed at night, harsh, bright, modern. Photography, capturing the world in frozen moments. Telephones, a small but fast-growing number of subscribers. Businessmen could close deals across the city in minutes. This was the Britain that called itself the workshop of the world. The Britain that believed it had earned its wealth through virtue and hard work.
It is a necessary precaution.
6 miles from Mayfair, London ended. Whitechapel. Spitalfields.
That'll be a penny a pound, sir.
Bethnal Green. This is where the empire's workers lived. The people who built the ships, sewed the clothes, loaded the cargo, swept the streets. Here's what life meant. Families of 8 in a single room, 12 feet by 10 feet, no windows, no ventilation. One toilet shared by 100 people. A dock worker earned 20 shillings a week, if he found work. 6 shillings went to rent. That left 14 for food, clothes, everything, for a family of 6. Girls as young as 13 worked 14-hour days in match factories. The phosphorus rotted their jaws, literally. The disease was called phossy jaw. Your face would glow green in the dark before it killed you. Coal smoke plus factory exhaust plus Thames fog equals pea supers. Fog so thick people got lost 3 feet from their own door. You could taste the air. It was black. Life expectancy? 40 years. This wasn't hidden. Charles Booth mapped it. Charles Dickens wrote about it. Parliament knew. They called it progress. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a failure. This was policy. 1834, the Poor Law Amendment Act. Britain's solution to poverty wasn't to end it, it was to punish it. The law created workhouses, designed to be so cruel that only the truly desperate would enter. The rules: families separated immediately. Husbands from wives, mothers from children. You worked 12 hours a day breaking rocks. You ate gruel. You slept on wooden boards. If you left, you got nothing. So people had 3 options: starve, lose your family to the workhouse, or survive any way you could. For thousands of women in the East End, survival meant 4 pennies a night. The cost of a bed in a doss house, not immorality. Math. Let me show you what 6 miles meant in 1888. September 7th, 1888. West End, 8 p.m. A dinner party in Belgravia. 7 courses, champagne from France. Guests debate the latest play at the Royal Opera House. Electric lights illuminate crystal chandeliers. East End, same night. Annie Chapman, 47 years old, walks the streets of Whitechapel. She's dying of lung disease. She needs 4 pennies for a bed. Without it, she sleeps in the street, where she'll freeze or worse. She told a friend earlier that day, "I haven't enough money for my bed." 12 hours later, Annie Chapman was found murdered in a backyard. And for the first time, London paid attention. August to November 1888. 5 women murdered in Whitechapel. The killer was never caught. The newspapers called him Jack the Ripper. And suddenly, everyone cared about the East End. Not because women were dying. They'd been dying every day. Hundreds of women died in Whitechapel's workhouses that year alone. But this was different. This was sensational. This was sellable. This was a monster. Politicians toured Whitechapel for the first time. Reporters flooded the streets. The Queen herself demanded updates. Jack the Ripper didn't create horror in the East End. He just made it impossible to ignore. The killer vanished into the fog. The newspapers moved on. London kept growing. Reforms came. Slowly. The worst slums were cleared. Eventually. The workhouses closed 50 years later. But for Annie Chapman, for the women whose names were never written down, too late. Victorian London was an empire built on a simple equation. Wealth for some equals suffering for others. Today, life expectancy in London still varies by 20 years, depending on your postcode. Victorian London didn't invent inequality, it perfected it. History loves to talk about empires as if they were glorious, as if progress was inevitable, as if the Victorian age was a triumph. But empires aren't built by visionaries. They're built by the people whose names we never learn. The workers who died at 40. The children who never saw a doctor. The women who needed 4 pennies to survive the night. Victorian London ruled the world. It just forgot to count who it crushed to get there.